high yield dividend community. Get ready to get wealthy. Whether it's Round Hill or any of the other things that we go into, this is going to blow your mind. Welcome to my community Zoom. Get ready. Sit in with paid members of my Apex Collective. This is my private paid group. There's a link for this below the video, but there's also a link for my free Discord. And we're going to go over everything. We're going to discuss core number compounding. I made YouTubers rich years ago doing it with crypto. It works with stock as well. This was 4 years ago. Crypto Dice. This was Big K Crypto 5 years ago. Imagine being in crypto with this. He was doing it with $5,000. Oracle, hold on. Everyone, this is not about cryptocurrency. This can be done with ETFs, your favorite stocks, whatever it is, but it must be paired up properly. Oracle continue. Nobody crypto. My progress using Oracle's core number compounding strategy. I created this. It works with stocks. It works with... I'm going to tell you straight up. You do this, this can make you richer than any drip, any kind of reinvesting formula, anything. There's no options. There's nothing. Let's continue with everything. And today, you may get to learn it as well. People are piling in. My free Discord is epic. I am in there all the time. High yield is what we care about. Our NAV is what we care about. Getting rich, accelerating the velocity of money is what we care about. And now you're going to meet people who have accelerated the velocity of money. And we're going to teach you how to turn any asset into a weapon without leverage, without trading, without any of that. We're piling in. This is going to be exciting. Get ready. Only if they say that you are worthy will you see this video, or else we won't share it. This is part of our private elite community. Let's let them all in, 19 people. They pile in and we continue to get ready to accelerate our wealth. I want to know what you think about this strategy in the comments below. It's like nothing you ever heard of before. I'm going to lay it out for you clearly so that you can go ahead and try to do this. There's no way to backtest it or spreadsheet it. It's virtually common sense. So core number compounding is a money management system. You have to pick the right underlier. Okay, it works for me because I know the right stocks to pick. Okay, I just showed you that in the Discord room here when we looked at Temp AI. When I was talking about, was this Temp AI? No, this was SMST. There's a whole bunch of things here, but Temp AI, we were looking at this at like $50, and it jumped all the way up to $94, and that was like 7 months ago. SMST was great until they reverse split it. Okay, that was terrible. Reverse splits are disgusting. But in any case, let's move on. Core number compounding. And I'm going to show you some guys that did this with $5,000. They did it with crypto. Now, this works off of volatility. It works off the movement. You want something that's moving up and to the right. It's not something you believe in. It's something you believe in, go pray to or go buy it or eat it. Don't invest in it. Invest in things that make money. Okay, that's what I care about. So we need something that's under this that's going to move quickly. So there's volatility. We're not going to do any options trading. Doesn't have to do with the IV or any of that. In the beginning, it worked perfectly, and it still does with even amounts of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Not ETFs, the actual underlier. Okay? And so your main focus, just to explain this to you, your main focus is going to be on the amount of money you invest. This is going to create an income velocity machine for you. You don't do this with your entire portfolio. You do this with a part of your portfolio. Okay? It could be a separate account. That's how I do it. Okay? You have to detach from the investor's notion of wanting to collect shares, or what seems to be. I am going to show you how to multiply your shares and multiply the velocity that your portfolio moves. And we're talking to getting to a point of doubling and tripling your entire portfolio that you allocate to this. Okay? Can you do it? Yeah. Here's how it works. Your core number is a number you make up. We're going to show a bunch of people that did it with $5,000. Okay? For me, in my example, it's $100,000. Let me put this aside and pull this up. So $100,000 is the number I invested. It's the number I focus on. I put it into stock. I've done it with Apple stock when it was on a run, before it even split. Okay? And I'm doing it now. It doesn't work on everything. I'm trying to do it with Palantir, PLTW. It's not working because it's not moving fast enough. So right now, I'm doing nothing. I'm just holding my 100K. Now it's up a little bit, but I put 100K in there. Actually, it's 150 in there. Okay, and so the core number that I'm doing right now, let me show you how this began. Profit ripping is a version of core number compounding. The idea here is to accumulate as many shares as possible and create an income for yourself. So I put $100,000 into this account. I still get my dividends. This was completely Robinhood, HOOW. So I'm getting dividends this week. This was a long time ago. In this image, that weekly payment was $1,591. So my payments range from that to $3,000 a week. Okay, this started with 1,500 shares. It grew to 1,538. And the bottom line is I'm going to show you how I took about $30,000 off the top that would have disappeared on Tariff Friday. They would have been gone, and you're going to see that. Dashboard money is not real money. I am going to show you how to convert this into real money. Focusing on my $100,000. I am over by $11,679. Everybody feels good when they see that. If you don't take action, it goes away. It's not real. So how do we take action? We divide up exactly how many shares we need to sell at the current price to equal $11,679. Look here. So I ripped this money off the top, and it's here now. The next day after that happened, this was the initial when I started doing this in this account, my balance dropped by $5,000. I was able to take this and buy back more shares than I originally had. I started with 1508. I wound up with 1538 and still kept getting the dividends. It gets better. Hold on. The other day, I was over by 20,000. I took it. I moved it here. Sold off just enough shares. Now, at this point, I have 1,258 shares. This week, I am getting a dividend of, actually, I should get it tomorrow, 1,258 times 2.18. That's nice, okay? But what's nicer than that is the $20,000 here, okay? Now, I started with 100,000. That's all I care about. This is profit that would vanish. If I take no action, this vanishes. Keep in mind, this dividend is after I ripped this money off the top. Now, normally, a great opportunity would be a day like Tariff Friday. Now, people say, what happens if the stock keeps ripping up? That's a little bit immature to say that, because the truth is everything only goes up and down. That's it. It's always going to be a red day. I don't care. Oh, and even ex-dividend dates with these things that I'm in doesn't matter. It's not yield max. But there's always going to be a chance to buy back in. Look at what happened Friday. Friday, my account, crash day. You can see it in real time, okay? Now, I'm going to get to the 107 in a minute, because what I did is going to blow your mind, okay? So I still care about my shares. The day we crashed, this $7,000, I didn't get to take it off the top. I was busy. I didn't have an opportunity. And you know what? That $107,000 became $95,000. Do you know if you took that $20,000 and put it back in right there, how many more shares you would have had? For my account to drop by $12,000 and then to buy back in with $20,000 of money it came out of thin air, literally came out of thin air, is fucking magic. Okay? Now, what did I do? I know that this is running up into earnings. Why is there only $107,000 here? Because what I am giving you is the power to control the money. You know what I decided to do when I was up $20,000? Keep in mind, okay, I've been collecting dividends on this all the way. I must have got at least $10,000 or $12,000 in dividends in since I've been doing this. I don't know. It's not long at all. But here, okay, double dividend payday. This is optional. And I did this. What happens if it never goes back down? Well, guess what? You deserve the money, don't you? I took the fucking money. And my balance is still $100,000. that money would have disappeared. I took the money. It was a double payday, and I got my dividends that week, $2,800. And you know what I did? I took the money and withdrew that too. And that's why when we opened on Friday morning, I only, notice I say only had 107,000. Do you guys see what I'm doing here?
Yes. Took the money.
Yeah. And I'm ripping profits off the top, and I am deciding to distribute them on a bludgeon day, which is what I normally do when I core number compound. Or sometimes you could take the money for yourself. This is real volatility money. You always looked at this as your portfolio. You never looked at it at what it really was. It's a volatility machine. You don't need yield max. You don't need nobody. But yeah, I like the dividends. I like to know I'm getting that. Okay? So you can see the opportunities here. Either you can reinvest on a day when the shares are much cheaper. They're always for sale. There's never a day you can't buy shares. But there's always a time when this money could vanish because of market movement. It vanished. That 107 literally became 105. Okay? Today it went back to 100 and something, 101 or whatever. But I've been taking money all the way along. Now, ideally you want to do this with two things. Okay? Two, not one. I am good at doing it at one with one because I know how to pick stocks. I know what to, I have an intuition. I have a track record. It's what I do. I rarely don't think, okay, when we're going to jump to these YouTubers just to give a little bit of other people's perspective who have done this. But I want you to know, when we come here, okay, and you look at Oracle hot stocks and ETFs, right, and you see what I'm doing. I only post here when there's opportunity. I'm not out here searching every stock and throwing you little tidbits and garbage like that. Okay? What I am doing here is showing you when I think there's opportunity. Okay? What was this? PLTR? Yeah. So when I think there, and what was the price? $83. I think it's doubled. Okay? When I think there's opportunity. So don't think, oh, Oracle's not doing anything. When I put stuff here, it's golden. Down to the minute. Now, I'm going to tell you, you know what? I don't want to say this. Hold on one second. I'm going to give you a strategy.
Thank you.
Yeah, Apex has its privileges. Private information. So, I'm going to give you, now, the key with this is I would use two stocks. Two stocks, not one. Now, when I show this, these examples here, I'm using one stock because it's PLT. I know what it is. But ideally, you want two. These guys were successful when they did their $5,000. All these different YouTubers happened to pick that same number. I don't know why, right? And they grew it from there. And you'll see it. I'm going to just show little clips, right? And it's really wild because this works with anything. So ideally, the most two volatile that always move up and to the right, those two assets are really Bitcoin and Ethereum. You could probably do this in your Robinhood account or something like that. You can figure it out. Okay? But if you put $5,000 of Bitcoin and $5,000 of Ethereum and made your core number $10,000, if it goes up now, I like 5 to 10% moves. Don't waste yourself pissing in the wind with pigeon pay. Okay, no pigeon pay, no taking like $25 and nonsense like that, because you are creating a taxable event. But if you're making, like I just showed you, $20,000, free money from nothing, real free money, unlike the nonsense we've been promised, well, then I would pay taxes on it. Don't you all agree?
Yes.
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 Great. All right. So let's listen to a little bit of this guy. This, I never forgot nobody crypto. Okay. He was making $15,000 a year when I found him, and I helped him start a YouTube channel, and he got to $15,000 a month. It was the beginning, all right, and then it just blew up for him. And his last video was, "Fuck you all, I made $75,000 this month," and that was like 5 years ago. So he talks about core number compounding. Let's give it a little listen.
Core number compounding strategy. Why do I call it Oracle's core number compounding strategy? Well, he's the guy who showed it to me. Give credit where credit is due. And yeah, man, this has been a lifesaver, life changer, especially in the bull run. So let me see.
He was talking about a bull run, okay, 5 years ago. They have no idea. They probably do. These are all early crypto people. But so let's say you got something that moves a lot, okay, and you guys can think, but it's got to be something up and to the right. Okay, certain stocks will do that for a while. There was a time where I did this just with Apple stock before they split years ago. Let's listen to a little bit of what he has to say here. I'm just going to do a little clip from each of these YouTubers.
One of my accounts here. This is my Coinbase Pro account. So, if you guys have been watching my progress on this, then you'll know that right before Christmas, my core number was 20,000, and I decided to go all cash and take some profits. Right? Because, holidays, all that stuff. And once I went all cash, I was like, well, you know what? I've made $10,000, a little over $10,000 in profits, and something just hit my wallet.
He made $10,000 just in that short time from doing core number compounding. No trading, nothing. He watched now. It looks like here, I can tell you what he did. He set it up again. Look, he's got 25 grand in cash. And he's got 5,000 Bitcoin, 5,000 Ethereum. He made a $10,000 core number. I can tell you right away. And what he's doing is, let's see if he explains it.
See what the hell that was.
Oh, come on, nobody. How much was Bitcoin back then?
$1,200. All right. I've changed my core number. I've made about, okay, so, that's just amazing, right? And the way I'm doing this is every time my core number goes over, my $5,000 here, $5,000 here, every time it goes over, I just scrape off the top, right? And I wait until it goes over, preferably over $100. If it's not at least $100.
That's a little bit. I wouldn't do so little. I would do 5 to 10%. Okay. And again, just imagine, I know you're not crypto people, but this is where this was born, and you can transpose it in your mind onto, let's say your two favorite stocks happen to be, like me, Palantir and Robinhood, okay? And right now they're my favorites because I have reasons for that, okay? Not just earnings, but longer term reasons. So if I put 25,000 in each one, okay, and all of a sudden my account value one day is, instead of 50,000, my core number, it's 54,000 or 55,000. For me, more like on that, the more money you put into this, the more the volatility machine kicks out back to you. Okay, so when I look at this, I like to be 5 or 10%. So if it went up, if my core number, I'm looking at my account now, that's all I have to do this is look at my account. If my $50,000 is up, okay, by, let's say it's 55,000. I scrape the $5,000 off and I put it aside. And then I wait. And on a big red day or something, I go back in. And you can allocate it however you want. The whole goal is to get more and more and more. More shares, more money, more volatility. More shares, more money, more volatility. It's a cycle. Okay? This is why we laugh at options and everything else. Let me jump to another YouTuber. Okay, who also, I don't know what this was with the $5,000. Let's go here. This is Crypto Dice, 4 years ago. Okay, and people were talking about it. Okay, anyway, so let's see.
About a month ago, I started this with Bitcoin only, and I did say in my previous video I was going to split it half Bitcoin, half Ethereum. Core number compounding is an easy strategy to duplicate your Bitcoin. Basically, all you're doing is selling high and buying low. You're selling into the pumps, and you're basically buying the.
Now that sounds like swing trading, but it's not. There's no chart studying. There's nothing. You're looking at your number. Look, he's over by 1466. I could tell you already. Very simple. So can you guys start to visualize this with like two of your favorite stocks or funds?
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Okay, so you're not thinking, oh, this is only crypto. I don't like this. Or even if you like crypto, I don't care. But you're not thinking that this is only crypto. You see the mechanics of what we're doing here, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Maybe
Yes, I
that'll
do.
work.
I have a
Yes.
question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is that I began to do this,
And I guess I wasn't able to let it bake long enough because I was only up probably, I wasn't even up 5%. It was like 2.5% on HOOW, and I was
Right.
going to rip that day. And then, of course, Friday happens. So, how long did you let yours bake before you started to
I
notice?
don't let it bake. I create it. Let me explain to you. Okay, so you have to first create your core number. Let's say, and I think this is going to directly answer your question, Diana. Let's say that, or Diva, I called you Diana. I put it together.
That's
Give it a
okay.
Diva. Anyway, so let's say your core number is going to be. Let's say you have. I don't know. You want to pick a number? You want me to pick a number?
Well, I'm trying to do 20,000.
Okay, so here's how you start. Let's say you have $22,735. Right off the bat, okay, if you're profitable, you sell just the top and you bring yourself down to 20,000. Let's say you have 18,750. What I would do is when I'm profitable, right off the bat, clip $3,750. Okay, if you had 18,750 and make your core number what? 15,000. A nice even round number, and it's not an even number, but you get what I'm saying. You bring it down to
Yes.
15. It's either 15 or 10 or 20. So you bring it to one of those numbers. Okay, even if you have to sell a little off the top, that's your dry powder. Okay, obviously you want to be profitable, and if you're in something that's going up and to the right, you should be. Okay, if you're into something that's capped, okay, this won't work. This doesn't work on any yield max funds, any curve funds, any of those funds will not work because you're capped. You need the volatility to make money. Does that answer your question how to start?
Yes, it does. And I was wondering about that too because excuse me, I had shares in and it was going up and to the right and it was doing really well. And I had lots of opportunity to rip off, and then I just didn't pull the trigger in time. But next time I'll do
Now you know.
much better.
Now you know. So it's okay if
Yep.
you still hold the stocks and everything else, whatever they are. Okay, it's
Yes.
okay. Nothing's changed. It's dashboard money. So that's why when it's up, we want to take it. So you lived through the perfect experience. You were great, and then boom, you got catapulted. That's what happens. So this will make you, when you have the dry powder, say, "Oh, this is so great." You could be happy all the time. You could be happy when it goes up, happy when it goes down. Okay?
Yeah,
All you got to do is
absolutely.
break away from what you've been programmed to think, which is never sell your shares. You got to break
You're
away
right.
from that. And we are not trading. We are just looking what we do anyway. We all stare at our portfolios. You're looking at your portfolio, and it's a big up day. Okay, let me tell you, I was up 26,000. Was it 26,000? I was up a lot in my WPay, and I didn't want to take any off the top. I was just like all of you. I didn't want to take any. I wish I did. That would have been great. That would have been epic because I had the opportunity to buy back in, and I would have had way more shares. And that's the whole thing. It's building more shares and building the cash flow. Let's listen to a little more of this.
Pumps. This strategy was introduced to me by Oracle way ago, roughly 7 or 8 months ago. There's a lot of information on YouTube about core number compounding. A lot of people do it. A lot of great YouTubers do it. Obviously, Oracle is the man that created this. Nobody Crypto does this. Big K Crypto does this. So there's a lot of good information about core number compounding. Obviously, I do this as well. It's a strategy that I've been using for the past 7 months. And let me tell you, if you split your money, half Ethereum, half Bitcoin, you'll be surprised what kind of results you'll be getting. Obviously, we have been in the bull market lately.
5 years in the bull market.
Has been going up, and this is the perfect time to do this stuff. Basically, we're selling into the pump. $5,000 is what I started a month ago, and I'm at 64.67. Obviously, I have $2,500 in Bitcoin and $2,500 in Ethereum. And as we see right here, as of last month, I accumulated $1,200. This is me just buying low, selling high, doing
Again, yeah, he's going to tell you, doing absolutely nothing but looking at your portfolio. your core number. And then as it grows, like you could say, you know what, I want my core number to go from 100,000 to maybe 110,000 or maybe 150,000. The crazy part is the bigger it gets, the more money it kicks out, because you're literally ripped. If you see that you're up $5,000 in one day, you take that. It depends on the percentage and the person. You know, if you got a smaller wallet, just move the zeros. You got a bigger wallet, move the zeros. Just listen to another second of this.
Absolutely nothing. All you're doing is you're keeping your crypto in your wallet and taking advantages of the market movement. Very simple strategy, very effective strategy.
So let me see what else Dice has to say.
Like I said, a lot of people do it just to make a passive income.
That's what this is about. This is a volatility machine, an extension of your portfolio, a piece. And that's why you see I'm doing it Friday close. What is this? Yeah, this was the Friday close. Now, if I didn't withdraw the money out, okay, I would have been able to buy back in. But I chose to take the money. And you know what? Today it's right back to 100,000. It's like magic. It refills. Okay, so again, it's not just crypto. So let's go ahead and do one more, and then I'll answer any questions you might have. This guy is great. Big K Crypto. If you can find his videos, put in core number compounding Big K video. He did so many videos on this. Okay, and just again to get another person's perspective.
We've gone over 5k now. It's 350. What I would do is I'd skim this 350 off the top and I'd sell it and put it in my fiat wallet. Okay. Let's say the 5k went down to 4,500, whatever. You're going to top it back up to get your core number up. That's essentially how core number compounding works, right? It's a genius strategy that the Oracle has, obviously devised here. And we're going to talk about that actually as well. I'm going to show you some live results from the Oracle himself as well. And it's just great. It's this isn't a very, very fast thing, right? It's not going to make you fast money. If you want fast money in crypto, what works for me is leverage trading, all right? And if you want to learn about leverage trading, especially learn from the Oracle, hit the links down below in the description box, because, well, as far as I'm concerned, he's the only one that has the credentials and actually shows his own trades and everything else to talk about trading, right? End of story. But that's, that's leverage trading. That's fast paced and high reward, right? With this,
that's not for everyone. You do that without me, you're going to get wrecked.
It's a long-term play. It's slower, and it's for those that don't want to be looking at the chart.
It's passive income without staring at charts all day or anything. Doing what we do already, looking at our portfolio. I mean, it could easily be done with WPay. It moves enough and up and to the right, and it's freaking diversified. And I'm not a fanboy or a shill, but I have my $500,000 in there because I believe in WPay. Okay, and I have a dedicated portfolio just for that, so that I can really see if it makes money or not without a spreadsheet. It's very simple. I have to stay green and collect the dividends every week. That's all I have to do. And I'll tell you, if it goes up again like that, where I'm up $20,000 or $25,000, I am going to clip some off the top. Okay, because that portfolio, 10%, if that moves 10%, that's 50K. I would rip that off the top and then put it back in. That's how you build these things, and they become wicked cash flow machines. The whole thing is increasing your holding, increasing the velocity of money, but you got to pick right. It's got to be stuff that goes up and to the right. So you have to think, and it's got to move a lot. That's why these two are hyperbolic together. They always were, and they still are. Let's listen to a little more of this.
Charts all day long. They want to just get notified every time there's a slight movement, and they go in and they make some moves. And it's kind of like buying low, selling high, right? So let's say you're at the 5K, as we're talking about. If it got down to 4.5, right, 4,500, then what you would do is you would top up. So obviously you'd have to have like a fiat wallet on the side, like a GBP or USD wallet, whatever, if you're using Coinbase Pro or whatever you're using, and you're going to want to top it up and top that core number up to $5,000. So what you're essentially doing is you're topping up, kind of say like shares again, right? You're topping up.
I think in this video he shows that how I did it with Apple. Let's see if we can find that, because you guys are all stock people. Oh, here it goes. And I did this in the most brazen, stupid thing of all. I did this, I think, in Cash App back in the day. Hold on, let's hear a little bit of this. This is what you guys would be interested in. Now, back then, this was before Apple had all their problems, okay? And they were flying up and to the right. And then this was before their split and everything. So let's listen a little
Bring
bit.
to Oracle's channel here, right? This is from Oracle's Stocks, Coffee, and Crypto channel.
Oh, they took that channel away from me, by the way. I have a whole bunch they took away from me.
Which I definitely recommend you guys checking out as well. The guy doesn't, stop releasing content, right? He's a content machine. And, he talks about, obviously, stocks and crypto. Now, here, you can see the screenshot. This is him playing what is this? This is the Apple stock, okay? And in this case, he's only used one stock, but that's because he knows exactly what he's doing. And, definitely go and check this video out, right? Definitely go and check this video out. Stock called Compound Secrets to Get Rich from Dust, right? Very, very good video to understand exactly how it works as well, especially from a stock point of view. Now, what Oracle sent me his results on stock, right, on his recent results. Now, check this out. I mean, on the 29th of June, his core number was 40,000. He had 90 shares, right? By the 30th of September, Oracle had his core value at 30,000, but he has 256 shares. Right, let that sink in for a minute. Now, over time, I'm not going to go through all these results in detail. You can actually check that out in Oracle's video. But buybacks he did was about 14 grand, over 14 grand, and profit was 22 grand. So this is just a great example to show you, real time figures. This is not, bullshit or anything else. This is real-time figures. I mean, Oracle pinged this over to me because, he knows I love the core stuff. And you know what? It's great to see this kind of results. If you want to see kind of like a breakdown on that, go and check this video out, guys. In fact, I will link that down below as well because it's a great resource to check. So the reason why I talk about that and bring that up is because, well, one, Oracle obviously devised the concept, and he's got a great new updated video, which I think you guys should all check out with results. Okay, remember, don't follow people like all these TA holes, right? That they say they do this and they do that, but they don't show any results. Like Kirby's and everyone else, they do not share results or trades or anything that they do. Oracle does, and I like to think that I do as well, right? So going back to my situation here, the only movement that I did, and this is why I say about, the 5% thing. There was times where if we look at this Bitcoin number, this had gone to a couple of days ago, this has gone to 1550. I mean, even yesterday it was at 1550. So basically, hold on. Let me just kind of tell you how I'm playing this. So because I've had to stake CRO, okay?
Oh, so yeah, he goes into shit that's not even relevant anymore. Okay, nobody cares about CRO and all that. But you can see that this has worked for a long time. So let's get out of this for a minute. So I explained to you how to use Oracle Hot Stocks and all that, and Apex Base. And I'll tell you, a lot of times instead of posting Oracle Hot Stocks, I would post in here and it would get buried. So there are so many gems up here. Okay. What questions or anything do you guys have? Is there anything else that you wanted to bring up, or are any of you doing this? Do you think it's helpful?
It's absolutely helpful, and I'm trying to do it. I just, after Friday, I have to wait a little bit, but I will definitely be implementing it. That's for sure.
It works super well. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Oh, look.
And I have a better understanding now.
Good, because I wanted you guys. Let's see. Case Rex said, damn, I want to see it again later. Some people said, don't record it, the first one, blah, blah, blah. This is hilarious. So this is really what I wanted to talk to you about tonight. I just thought that it's such a great concept. Are any of you planning to apply it? And what do you think that it would, do you want some help? Like, what do you think you want to put it on? Like, what stock, what ETF do you think you'd want to put it on?
Well, I was trying to do WHO, HOOW, and I had PLTW, but then I got rid of that and I did AMDW because I saw that one kind of really taken off, and I was just like, I'm going to go over there. They're both a bit down right now, but I feel confident that I'll be up soon. Actually, my WPay is almost completely recovered.
WPay is wild. I've recovered a lot too. I'm not completely recovered, but I've recovered a lot, and I like WPay is a good one to go ahead and I think maybe to profit rip off of. Okay, but I have to see the moves. I mean, I was up a lot and I didn't take it. I should have, because I don't profit rip or core compound in all of my accounts. Okay, because it tends, sometimes if you do it too much, it makes a mess. So that's why I have my 5 or 10% rule. And it's really, really amazing. You can see how Big K Crypto showed you how I did it with Apple. And I mean, I really built my share count in a short amount of time. So that's really, really the key. The key is the velocity of money. That's what I'm all about. That's everything. So everybody else seems to be on mute. The only one that wants to talk to me is Diva.
Does margin change anything on this?
Does margin change anything on this? I don't think so. I never did margin on it.
I'm using a little margin right now, and I'm going to tell you what I've done. I'm putting, because I'm doing it with some stocks. I'm taking some profits off of some stocks that I own, and I'm putting them in that containment system that you taught about, Oracle. And I'm also putting all my dividends in another one.
Yeah, I like that too.
And then I'm going to deploy them. I actually deployed some on Friday, But if you don't do that, Robinhood, when you get paid your dividends, it just goes towards your balance.
It goes towards paying your margin. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'll tell you, I was a big advocate for margin. I love margin. I created the term margin to the tits. But, I came to a point where, because I was on Schwab and almost nothing that I like was marginable, right? I started calculating. Let me show you why I stopped using margin, okay? Because if I look at this, okay, I had here, everything else is smokescreen, okay? All that really mattered was these two on the bottom, okay? Everything else was either a containment thing like you talked about or just smokescreen optics, because I had a lot of margin. Look, almost equal to my account balance. So I did a calculation, and I said to myself, how much would I make if I put this all in WPay with no margin? Because they wouldn't margin it. So that ate up all my buying power, everything. I put it all into WPay. I got like 9,000 shares. But it's paying like $7,000 or $8,000 a week. XDTE was marginable. Look at this. Now I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but look, I had $496,000 in a capped covered call fund, XDTE, which I really like. But between having this margin exposure and having basically I had a market value of 840, but all this margin, if you think that you're going to be able to pay this off with dividends, you're delusional. It's not going to work, not with this kind of amount. The way I structure margin when I use it is jetpacks, jettison the junk. And I would have, if I got caught with this portfolio in Tariff Friday, I would have not been able to jettison anything, because everything would be blood red. My drawdown, instead of being 29,000 from being all in WPay, would have been about 60,000, because I would have got hit hard on XDTE too. So it would have been the same drawdown, okay, on this dollar amount, but as if I had this amount of stock. That's the problem. That's the problem I have with margin. Using it as a boost, okay, let's say you're about to get a dividend, something is going to recover, or, it's like, since I'm not in yield max, I don't even have to think about recovery anymore. But when you're going to get a dividend and you have to think about that, maybe if the dividend's going to be good, and I call this a margin boost. Okay, what you do is the day the dividend is announced, you go on margin for just the amount of the dividend that you're going to get the next day. If you're going to get a $3,000 dividend, margin $3,000 the day before, so you get the dividend on that $3,000, and then it's paid off the next day once you're paid. That's a margin boost. That works really good as well. That's just something extra to think about. But my account looks nothing like this anymore. Matter of fact, I don't have another picture. Fuck. But I have almost 500,000 in here. now. The most it went to was 510, all in WPay. Okay, but I was way up. So now it's about, I think, 490 or 490 something. I'm close to this. Okay, and I'm only maybe $2,000 down on WPay. And tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, I get like a $7,000 dividend. Do I reinvest? No. That's my money. And so that's my story on margin. I used to really like it. Now I use it selectively. But if you don't margin stack your portfolio properly and you just go all in on, or heavily in on something that's, use all in. If you go all in on something that's non-marginable, well, then you're not going to have any margin. You're going to have nothing you could borrow against. So you have to think about that too. That's why I used to do margin stack. I would start with some things that were like 30%, margin maintenance requirement, and then load in my non-marginables at the end so I could borrow against this money. But by going all non-marginable, there's nothing I could borrow against, so I can't use any margin right now. So those are some margin tips that I think would help. Other than that, I'm losing my voice. I've talked a lot. I hope you guys, I can't find you now. Where are you? Here you are.
Very
Really?
helpful.
Really?
Thank you.
Yeah, very helpful.
Oh, that's so
Thank
great.
you all.
I didn't know.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't know how a Zoom
Thank
would
you all.
go with you guys because we come from different worlds. I come from a degenerate fast money world, and you guys originally. I guess the people who follow me are a little different, but you guys came from spreadsheets and douchebag fund managers and all that stuff, and I came from. Everyone, if you'd like to join us, there's a link to my Discord below. It says Apex Collective. Click that. When you go to that page, go to the bottom, and you can get the free link. When you come in, you have to DM me. I will not message you and try to sell you anything. The world. I'm going to just tell you before I hang up how I felt about Yield Max, why I got into it. Back in the early days of crypto. We don't need to hear this part. This we can just remain mystery. Okay, I'm going to end this, and I'll record it, and I'll drop it on YouTube. You can all re-listen and find yourself your gems. Everyone have a great day.
Wonderful night. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye-bye. Wow, what great people. This was truly an experience. I hope you join us in the Discord, and maybe, just maybe, you'll become a member of the Apex Collective.